What was it like growing up in New Orleans when you were small? Say when you were, in grade school. What was?
It was pretty good. We still had respect from the black kids because I remember we'd walk to school, always walk to school. But when we were walking to McMain on South Clayton, the blacks would get off the sidewalk to let you by. We had black neighbors at one time, and they kept to themselves, but they were always nice. And behind us were blacks. So we had no problem with the black people in our neighborhood. I'm not saying that about other neighborhoods, but it was mixed. After I got married in 1950, I moved to Soniat Street. Right behind me were blacks.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. As a matter of fact, one of the ladies wound up being a maid that would come and press the shirts and do a little cleaning for me. So I think we had a good relationship. Everything, of course, I guess the murder rates were high, but we didn't pay that much attention to them at the time because it was not, as it is today, in your face.
The neighborhood you considered safe at that
Yes,
point?
at that
like
point.
Like you could walk to and from school?
I would walk to Our Lady of Lourdes, which was that was our church, a good 8 blocks at night and not feel. But now I wouldn't go around the corner.
Right.
So,
did you ride the streetcar a lot of places then?
Oh yeah, definitely. Went to work every day on that streetcar. Never rode it to school because we always walked. We were a group of girls, 2 across the street, 1 on the corner, and me, and then we'd walk a little further and pick up another one and be a little bunch of girls going to school. Walked to school all the time. And the same way with Lloyd's. When I went there for a couple of grades, walked to grammar school, I walked to Wilson. So I felt like the neighborhood was safe. We had some wealthy people on Napoleon Avenue. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, they were Jewish, but I went to school with them at Wilson School. Mm-hmm. Very nice people. And then, of course, they went on to McMain also. Well, I hit all the schools at a good time, really. McMain was a wonderful school. And then, of course, after I started working, I did go to night school at Loyola for about 3 or 4 years. But I didn't graduate.
Because my dad went there, or was that before he went?
After.
That was after.
I think he was already married, and out of let's see, I was still going. I was working for the government then. That was in I started there before the war was over. And then, of course, Irwin came back and did his law degree there. So he was going at day and I was going at night.
What about when you were a child, pastimes or hobbies or?
We made our own hobbies. We didn't do very much. We had a bicycle that was only the back end of the bike that you could sit on and pedal, but it didn't go anywhere. I remember that. And we had a little alley, a little skinny alley between us and the colored folks. And that's where I learned how to skate. I'd go up and down. If I'd fall, I wouldn't fall. And play card games. We'd play card games and different things like that. You found things to entertain yourself with. But we didn't go, and then of course when we do any visiting, it was always with family. Mm-hmm. We'd visit Aunt Maggie regularly. They were nice. They were good people. They never had anything, though, the poor guy. He tried hard, and he made it. In the end, he was pretty well fixed up. But I can remember, without Mom and Daddy, they would have never made it. They were always helping them out. And that was a time when family helped family, really helped family.
Right.
And it was just a good time. He couldn't find work. Nobody during the Depression. It was hard to find work. So it wasn't a bad time, but we didn't have a whole lot.
Was that when your daddy was driving an ice truck?
Yeah. At first it was a wagon.
Okay.
And then when he got up a little bit and times changed a little bit, he got the truck. And then Irwin, of course, helped him. I think he was helping him on the wagon. I don't remember, but I know he was helping him on the truck. Mm-hmm. One time he had somebody hired. They were doing real good early on. You see, he and Uncle Sam, first when they started the route, they were living on Washington Avenue, I believe, in a double. Daddy and Mom were on one side, and the other side was Uncle Sam and the mother, the grandmother. I don't know any of my grandparents. They were all dead before I was born. So I can't tell you much about them.
Right.
But it was a nice experience. So it was a good time to come out and do everything, and it turned out beautiful. I really had a good life.